Alright, YouTube, hide your kids and hide your wife because Amy's not wearing makeup. Oh god, it's so scary. Today's tutorial, I'm going to show you a little bit about how I achieve my complexion perfection. Now, as you can see on my face, I have absolutely nothing. So scary, the whole world seeing me without makeup. I don't even think my husband knows what I look like without makeup. I wanted to show you guys the real thing from start to finish, how I cover all these little scars and pimples and craziness. So here's some products that I like to use. The Makeup Forever High Definition Elixir is a great oil-free hydrator. I always start my makeup application with this so that my makeup never looks blotchy. The Professional Primer from Benefit. This helps with my pores because they are so big you can back a truck up into them. And this is also oil-free and lightweight, and it can be applied just to help to smooth out that rough texture from large pores. We'll also be using the Lemonade Eyelid and Under Eye Correcting Primer from Benefit. It's basically a sallow yellow color to help with my dark circles and some of the redness. I also prime my eyes in this step, so I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Anyone who knows me knows that I love Makeup Forever, so I wear the Matte Velvet No. 35 foundation. We'll also be using a blush. This is from Lancome. It's called Shimmer Coral Sunset. It's one of their blush subtils. And just to contour my face because it's so large from all the Big Macs I eat, this is a matte bronzer from Annabelle. It's called the Perfect Bronze, and the name of the color is Sun Goddess. So let's get started. Our Makeup Forever elixir has a little button on it. You just press it down and then a bunch of the product appears in the little nozzle. I like to work with it from the back of my hand, about the size of, I guess, a nickel is good enough. And basically what you're going to want to do with this is just gently apply it all over the face. This has an ingredient in it called sodium hyaluronate, and that ingredient holds 10,000 times its weight in water. So it's a really effective hydrator. It feels really nice going on too. So on those days where you feel you're a little dry or dehydrated, it's the perfect pick-me-up. So now I'm just going to grab my mirror here. We're going to apply our primer. So this is the Professional. And Professional, just a little bit goes a long way. That's about all I'm going to use. And it's just a translucent, silky balm that you apply to any area where you suffer with, you know, large pores, fine lines and wrinkles, any of that stuff. And basically, this is just going to help to smooth that rough texture, the rough and uneven texture out. So that's pretty easy. Next, we're going to go to Lemonade. And Lemonade, sometimes I'll work with my finger, and then sometimes I'll work with like an HD concealer brush, like this one here from Sephora. For this part, I'm going to use my fingers, and then I'll just smooth it out with a brush. So I just take my finger, and I get a little bit of it on, and I'm basically just going to pat it under my eye to help to correct the dark circles that I have. Foundation, which is the next step. But first, like I said, I'm just going to take that HD concealer brush and just use small circular motions to smooth out any blotchiness. Perfect. So my foundation brush, the HD foundation brush that I usually use, decided to go rogue and break on me. The handle broke. So I'm actually going to be using a sponge for this. I don't normally recommend it. I much prefer using a proper foundation brush. So please bear with me. But we take a little bit of foundation and we're basically going to create little dots on our face. And then just use your sponge or your brush, hopefully, to even everything out. But I have a really round, fat face, again, from all the Big Macs that I like. So I use a bronzer and some sort of contouring brush. This is the Cheek Color brush from Laura Mercier. Has a really good shape for contouring. You just want to get a good amount of the bronzer, matte bronzer, by the way, nothing with sparkle, onto your brush. And you can either do the goldfish face, which is where you suck your cheeks in like this, or you can use your finger and find the hollow between the fleshy part of your cheek and the lower half of your face. And you're basically just going to find that hollow and then apply the bronzer from sort of the top of your earlobe down, blending it downward. So you're creating that, the divot or the shadow. And we're going to do the other side as well. Again, all the way up to the hairline and then downward. Almost like you're drawing downward lines. That's exactly what you're doing. For someone who's got, a very narrow face, they might want to go straight across. For someone who's got a perfectly symmetrical face, just doing the apples of the cheeks is a good tip too. Great, so now that I'm all blushified, the last step is to seal everything with a little bit of loose powder. So this is the Makeup Forever HD Micro Finish Powder, and I like to just tap a little bit of this onto a Kleenex, or you can do even in the back of the lid. I just have a little trial size, I guess you could say. You want a big fluffy powder brush. This is the Sephora number 48 powder brush. Any big fluffy brush will do. And you're basically just going to dust this over everything that you've just done. Now this powder is great because there's only one ingredient in it. It's 100% silica. So like your primer, it's just going to help to like airbrush every little imperfection and lump and bump that you may have on your face. It's just going to soften it. I'm also powdering my eyelids, you'll notice, and that's really important for when I apply my eyeshadow. If you start with a cream and then you put a shadow or powder on top of it, it's often going to slide. But because I'm putting powder on top, it'll keep its shape much better. Keep the color, rather. And for this, you just use big circular motions, blend it through. I'm going to get up and under. All right. Now, normally I would go on to highlighting, but since this is just a complexion video, I am completed. So really easy, probably under 10 minutes, I hope. And you guys got to see me without makeup. I'm so embarrassed. But I hope you had fun and enjoyed the tutorial. And I'll be posting my eyeshadow next. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.